What's up, YouTube? MCO40 here. We are giving you guys Mr. Edward, correct?
Yep, Edward Huffman.
He went 8-2-1 with rank up gadgets. All right, let's get into this.
Okay, what I do here is that I do triple of each gadget. Now, why don't I use the two build? Where's the? There it is. Why don't I use two of each ones? Because I always like having monsters. I've tried the two of each, and you just don't get enough monsters, and I like having monsters in hand because you always can get something out there on the field. Got the Machina engine. Just basically if you're using gadgets, I recommend you have at least some of the Machina stuff in there. Cannon, I use 2 Fortress. Fortress is a good car. I use the Cannon. I don't use 3 because the third Cannon I feel it can be dead at times. And if I get the Cannon, I can just discard it for Fortress and get the Fortress back. And Level Warrior. Your opponent has a monster out on field. No people notice this. You can special summon him as a level 4. You can be an attack or defense. And he becomes level 4. Huh. And you go second. You special summon him, summon a gadget. That's your XCs right there. Well, I don't use template Goldfish or Kage no Kage or Photon Thrasher or the Slasher, whichever one. I don't use them because they're vulnerable to stuff. Like Slasher's vulnerable to Bottomless. Valor on a template Goldfish hurts. Max C on a Kage no Kage play hurts. Yeah, I just didn't do that. Honest, I use a lot of lights in the extra deck, and he's level 4, so worst case scenario you can be like him, and exceeds, or you summon that and then you have this in hand and they'll attack and it dies. TD Striker, him plus any of the gadgets or gear frame equals Barkion, and traps are very prevalent in this format, so that's my answer to the traps. One of the cards of the day and namesake of the deck, rank up magic Numeron Force. I can use this on Utopia or 101 or basically any warrior. But basically what it does, I get to rank this up. I can go for Utopia Ray V, Utopia Ray Victory, number C101. And what most people don't know is that after this card special summons that monster, all physical cards in the field are negated, and that happens after the summon. So your opponent cannot turn to tribute. They can't bottomless, they can't respond to the summon. So none of that, no Book of Moon or none of that. So you're going to ensure that your card comes to the field and it's going to live unless they negate this or make your card unaffected by it, which most people don't do anyway, they wait. Duality for more searchability, doesn't need to be explained. Triple Lance, I can side out the third Lance if I want to, but I like having Triple Lance because I don't like things happening to my XCs. Like I summon Utopia, I don't want it getting bottomless because if I have this and I have this, I can summon Utopia, they go bottomless or torrential. I can Lance, and I can overlay for Utopia Ray and then rank him up instead. MSTs, doesn't need to be explained. I run 2 of them. I don't do 3 because they can be dead and you might not be able to use it. Dark Hole is a staple. Mind Control, if they have something that gets in my way, I can take it, overlay with it. Or they summon Utopia against me, I can take it. Or if they take something of mine, I can take it back. This to get the Level Warrior or the Striker to my hand. Book of Moon. Staple, I don't know why more people don't play it. You stop a lot of stuff with it. Call the Haunted. I play 3 of it because you can never have enough special summoning ability. What I like to do is I don't like to activate it on my turn. I like activating it my opponent's end phase. That way, like, I bait out because when you do this, they instantly drop the Max C, and you get your gadget out, you get your search off, and then it comes to your turn then. And now they just wasted the Max C. So unless they have another one, then you're gonna summon another gadget or whatever you were gonna summon, and that's gonna go off. You can special summon from there and not have to worry about your opponent getting plus. And I also have another little nifty trick with him when I get to the extra deck. Threatening Roar.
General chainability,
yeah.
I assume.
Huh?
General chainability.
Yeah, you need chainable traps. You need them. I mean, I used to do double Mirror Force, 1 Threatening Roar, But I kept finding myself in situations where my opponent would destroy the Mirror Force before I got a chance to use it. So that's why I bumped Mirror Force down to 1, bumped this up to 2. Because they blow it up, I can stop them from attacking and killing me. Compulse, just general good removal cards. Staple, Mirror Force, Dark Bribe. There are a lot of dangerous cards floating around here that are spell and trap cards. This right here gets rid of a lot of them. I mean, you could run 7 Tools of the Bandit, but I mean, your opponent dark calls you, you got 7 Tools of the Bandit out, it's not going to do anything for you. And I don't use Warning because, I mean, I don't want to pay the life point cost. Now, I've come into situations where I'm like, Warning is useless, like if I don't have the life points. Though it is a good card, I will not, I've tried it extensively, it just doesn't fit my taste. Now here we come to this. Triple Utopia. Now why did I use 3? Because you can never have enough of this Utopia because he's difficult to get over. I mean, your opponent can pop him, but they have to waste cards to pop him, or they have to attack. And then on top of that, you can stop attacks. And in some instances, they'll attack, and I'll have Honest in hand, and I'll drop Honest, and I'm not using the effect where they'll attack, and I'll Lance, and I still get my 2 attachments on. And this card wins me games. With my opponent, they get uber aggressive, and I go into him, and I'll do this and pull out a hat trick victory. And at times when Utopia you lose all his materials, you just overlay for him, rank up, and you got 2 of them, so you can use the effect twice. Utopia AV, you're using Ranker Match Numeron Force. I recommend you put 1 of them in here because he gets rid of a lot of negative cards in the field. Something bigger than him, you can blow it up and burn them for damage and attack directly. And it's just really good. And at times when your opponent, when they're just out of the 4,000 range of Utopia Array, just the regular Utopia Array, what you can do is you can summon this one. They got 2 monsters on board. You bump 1 to 0 and attack over the weakest one if it's in attack mode, and you kill it. Then you rank up Magic Numeron, get this out there, and blow it up, and possibly burn them for the rest of their life points. And I've done that, and it's just crazy when you do that. Utopia Ray Victory, completely underrated, extremely overpowered. When you get this out there, when you attack, your opponent cannot activate any spell or trap cards while he's attacking. You attack with him, and you detach. You get to pump him up by the attack of the monster attacking, and he is my answer to the Bujin matchup and Crane. When I attack into like Bujin Yamato, they always had Crane. I'm like, I only got to worry about his Honest, but they got Bujin Yamato out there. I attack into this, he pumps up by 18, he's at 46. They drop Crane, okay, yours is at 36, mine's 1,000, I still get over you. And they can't activate any traps while he's attacking, so they can't make him weaker, they can't kill him. So they have to do something else to him.
Oh boy, these
101. One of the cards of the day. I'm pretty sure I shouldn't have to say anything about it, but 101 was just an amazing card today. It won me so many games. I mean, I faced off against Dark Worlds. I took a grapple, he couldn't get it back. Faced up against the Fire Fist duelist. I took his Tiger King. He couldn't do anything to get over it. And yeah, it's just a really good card, and he's got staying power too. So summon him, your opponent goes bottomless, you just detach, then you rank up. And then you come this card here, another card of the day. Every duel I summoned him, I won. Same with him. Every duel I summoned these 2, I won that duel, and I won that match. Because you just keep taking your opponent's special summon cards and not giving them a chance to use them efficiently. He can do this each turn, and he has no detach cost. And when he dies, he comes back, and you gain 2,800. And I know the people are like, well, you're gaining life points. I'm like, that's good, but he comes back, and you think he's 2,800. And what people don't know, this card right here alone makes Fire Kings eat a dick. Because when first off, they go Garunix. If you take that, first off, they're going to probably do Fire Circle and get out the other one. Oh, you rank up and you take that one, then they go blow up the field, it comes back. Now, they can't get over it. And that's really bad on them. Yeah, just a really, really good card. That goes to Emerald. Get back my gadgets, get back anything to the deck, drop cards. My stroke.
Would you replace my stroke with the second one-on-one?
Yeah, I kind of would. I would do that. I just don't own a second one-on-one.
Fair enough.
I would do that, but don't own one, so he's in there. Actually, there's a couple cards I would take out. Steel Swarm Roach. He's earned his place in this deck mainly because I have a particularly difficult time dealing with Light Swarms or Chaos Dragons, and he just makes that kneel because he stops inherent summons, so it forces my opponent to have to do something else to get rid of him before they can do something. And I faced off against a Light Swarm player first round, and game 3 I went into this, and he had BLS and Double Judgment, and I killed the BLS, I killed the Judgment, he summoned the other Judgment, but he only had 1,000 life points, so it made that no longer a threat.
Particularly looking at this, I see you're not playing Excatai Knight either. Would you be playing him one?
I actually would. I'd probably drop this for an Excatai Knight. I just don't own it.
I gotcha.
Yeah. Pop Operative, again, I don't own an Exciton Knight, but this is also good because, I mean, you get over pesky defensive monsters, like you can get out of the Ronin lockdown, the better Nuki lockdown when you get 2 of them out there. So yeah, if you don't own those, you can put these in there or something else. But these are good. These are good choices. Master of Blades. I don't own Big Eye. I don't own Drago. I don't own Dragosat. But he was good because duels I went into him, I always won those duels, and my opponent can't target him because you target him, you negate the card, and you destroy a card they have. And he gets over Dragosat and Big Eye because they can't take it with this. And Barkion, again, traps are prevalent. I can make him with TG Striker and a gadget or a gear frame.
All right, let's go into the side deck.
Side deck. Okay. Yo, double maxi. Oh, around. Yeah, double maxi. It's a really good card. I would like to play 3 of it. Unfortunately, I only had 2, and I could not get one here because just couldn't get one. But I already had an option for that. This is good against Mermails, Karkur Yugioh. You just drop this and they either stop or they take the challenge. And another thing I like to do, I like to have this and Threatening Roar set. So when they go off for their big play and they may go like Scrap Dragon to blow up your back row, it turns out to be a Threatening Roar. They don't have the answer to Threatening Roar, and they just did all that and you drop Max C. You just went super plus, and now they just did their whole strategy out there. I personally would do 3 Max Cs, though. I just don't have a 3rd one. System down.
A Yugioh matchup.
Yeah. Mirror match, Karkur Yugiohs. You put this in there, you just really you just fuck up their day. Because you drop this, you just get rid of everything they have. And like a lot of I mean, if they have an AC like you got an X, it gets over that, but unfortunately the materials still go to the graveyard, which sucks, but you still just hit them with it and got rid of a lot of their cards, and they're not going to get a chance to reuse. Defissure, it's really stupid, I don't have to explain it, but it's really good against Mermails, really good against Dark Worlds. This actually won me a match against Dark Worlds because I beat him game 1, this right here just stopped him game 2, and he actually, he dragged down to the grave and saw my whole hand, didn't have this. And when he mind crushed on my turn and called out a gadget, I had drawn this off that, and he was just really, really mad about that. But yeah, that's a good card. I was debating if I wanted to do triple Shadow Mirror, but I just opted to double Shadow Mirror in this because I can use this more often. Light of Prismatic Mirror, Boojins, Light Swarms. That's enough said right there. It just stops that. And yeah, it can hurt me, but because I use Rank Match Numeron Force, after I've stopped my opponent and I Numeron Force, this gets negated. So now all my light effects are now live, so I can have Utopia out there using this effect. Or if you want to be diabolical, I've actually had a Utopia out there in the field. I changed this to their effect because they were gonna bounce me with a M7. So I did this, and they went in to attack, and I activated Utopia's effect, and I chained Lance to it, so it was unaffected, so the effect went through because it couldn't get negated by a Light Imprisoning Mirror. And that's a pretty diabolical way of using it. And then you Numeron, and then that's no longer a hassle to you. But yeah, it's really, really good. Triple Imperial Iron Wall. Boojins just stops them dead in their tracks. And it stops Chaos Dragons too. These two, and Steel Storm Roach, no Chaos Dragons.
No Heretics either.
No, none of that. Double Shadow Mirror. For the Evil Storm matchup and the Dark World matchup.
Top 16.
Yep. For the Dark World matchup, this right here just shuts them down. Evil Storm matchup, it shuts them down. Let's take it the Infinite Pandemic, but you always stop them with this. Soul Drain, Hieratics, Mermails, Boojins. This right here hits a lot of stuff. And here's a card like I'm gonna say, Mind Drain. Now, a lot of people don't realize this is actually a very, very powerful card if used correctly. Hand traps are prevalent. This shuts down a lot of hand traps. And if you use this against Mermails, they cannot use Tidal, they cannot use Megalo, they cannot use any effects that activate in hand. So it can really shut them down. Against Boojins, no Crane, no Honest. And also you can use this against Boojins, no Crane, no Honest there. This right here just really, really hurts them. And third Threatening Roar. Because I didn't have the Max C, I decided to put this in there. Because worst case scenario, I don't want to get OTK. This just stops OTKs. And that's the deck profile, guys.
Any final comments, Edward?
It's a really good deck. My opponent, I only lost one legit match. All the others, like, I drew, but I was confident I would have won game 3, but unfortunately when the time, and the Boojin player that I was playing, we went into time, and I exhausted all of his resources. He was out of Yamato's, but unfortunately he had more life points, and I know he had 2 cards in hand, and the third one he drew, he showed me it was 3 Cranes, so he would have lost. He would have lost, because the next card he drew was, I think, was going to be an MST, and I had Gear Frame and Fortress on board, and I just could not do enough damage by turn 5.
All right, well.
And yeah, it's really good. I did 8-2-1, and it's just a really good deck. I mean, not much you can say about that.
All right, thanks, Edward.